What's up, you guys? Welcome back again to your HeroClix headquarters. So we're finishing our full set review today of Disney Plus with the chases. So if you guys haven't already checked out the other ones, go check those out. But without further ado, let's finish this off strong and check out all these awesome chases. All right, and starting us off for the chases, we have Agatha Harkness here. Pretty awesome sculpt there. Love all the detail in the robes and everything, and even in the hair. Just like flowing in the wind from all the power. Very cool. Very, very well done on this one, I think. And she, of course, comes with the Darkhold, which I think is also a very nice looking object there. So we'll take a look at what she can do here. So she's got celebrity, mystical, and past keywords. She, of course, starts with a trait that lets her start the game with the Darkhold equipped. And she can, when she uses its effect, she may instead choose 2 of the listed powers. And so that gives you free choose one from the following lists, and you can use that until your next turn. Probability control, perplex, or outwit. So she gets to choose 2 instead of 1, which is very nice. Obviously, those are 3 of the best powers in the game. Improved targeting for characters is also very nice to have, as she is quite the range attacker. So she has a trait here that gives her power, generate a rune special marker max 1 in Agatha Harkness's square, and if Agatha Harkness is more than 3 squares from a rune marker, remove her rune marker. Other characters within 3 squares of her rune marker can't use powers. So of course, super powerful effect here. Just take a power action to drop out that rune marker, and nobody else can really do anything within 3 squares of it except for her, but that includes your friendly characters, so you gotta just be careful not to get your friendlies too close to that either. Now she also has a special movement power that gives her stealth and mind control, and then free if Agatha Harkness occupies hindering terrain, place her in a square of hindering terrain within 4 squares in line of fire. I love this, actually. It combos really well with the rune marker, because if she's in hindering, you can just place her 4 squares away in hindering and then take a power action to generate the rune marker, and you know, can kind of catch your opponent off guard there. And then especially if you combo it with somebody else that can have like TK to place her, you know, you could place her 6 squares out in hindering and then hop 4 squares into another hindering, and then boom, drop that rune marker and just shut them down. So it's really good combo of powers and abilities there. She also has penetrating psychic blast and steal energy, but with close or range attacks, which is amazing. And she's got that, you know, her whole dial except for the first click, so she can always, you know, steal energy and heal up clicks. For an even 100 points, she's quite a beast here. So she's got that 11 attack penetrating blast for 3 damage with ranged combat expert, so 12 for 4 penetrating. She's got that, you know, stealth and placement ability there, so she can hop around and also mind control people, which is very useful. And then she just has regular stealth and some willpower there. Super senses or shape change gives her at least some ability to roll out of damage the whole time, and Mystic's team ability. And the 7 range double target is great, you know, for the penetrating blast or the mind control. So she's just a super deadly threat, a very powerful range attacker, you know, see-through characters and everything. And you gotta include the fact that she's probably gonna have access to at least 2 of these powers at all times. I would probably choose Perplex and Prob most of the time. That way you could keep her Perplex up to a 20 defense top dial and Prob it. And if they get through that, you still got Super Senses. And if they get that, then they take a Mystics at least. So very powerful. Super strong figure. Very good for Mystic and Celebrity teams. Those are both really good keywords right now, and definitely in part due to her. Next up for the chases is one of my favorites in the whole set. Of course, you guys saw her here first on my unboxing video for Disney Plus, and it's the Scarlet Witch. And I've already talked about her a couple times on the channel, obviously. She looks amazing, and you guys already know, if you watched my new top 5 Scarlet Witch, that she's my favorite one ever. So she also gets the Darkhold. What's cool is they both come with it, so whichever chase you pull, you'll get the Darkhold, which is really nice. Avengers, Celebrity, and Mystical keywords. Great keyword selection there. All 3 of those are really good. Of course, she has the same trait that lets her start the game equipped and can use 2 of the listed powers. So again, Perplex and Prob are really good. Outwit if you really need it. And she also has this power action to generate a chaos marker. Same thing, if she's, more than 3 squares away from it, remove it. Other characters within 3 squares of it can't use powers. So again, very powerful. But then she also has a special attack power that gives her knockback and penetrating psychic blast. And when Scarlet Witch knocks back an opposing character after resolutions, choose one, remove an action token from her, or heal her 1 click. 2 very good options there. Just remove a token to keep going over and over and over every turn, or just heal her a click to just keep her staying alive a little bit longer. She also has Stop with Super Senses and Invincible. When this click is revealed for the rest of the game, Scarlet Witch has the Cosmic Energy team ability, which is amazing, means she can't be targeted without wit, and also gets willpower on top of it. And then she already has Avengers Initiative and Mystics, which are the other 2 best team abilities in the game, basically being able to see through hindering for all of her ranged attacks, and of course Mystics to deal some damage back if she gets hit. Again, 7 range double target, but with a 12 movement, flight and running shot, 12 attack penetrating blast, 19 invincible, and 4 damage with range combat expert at a whopping 150 points. Gives her a 13 for 5 penetrating damage. You can choose Perplex and Prob from the Darkhold to keep her up at a 20 defense with Invincible and just, prob the rolls. Super, super powerful at 150. Almost as good at 75. He's still got 11 attack penetrating blast, see-through hindering, running shot. Super Senses and Shape Change combo is really nice. Again, Perplex and Prob, you could keep her at a 19 and re-roll everything. Super effective, and also being able to choose Outwit when you have Avengers Initiative team ability is great, because that way you can outwit stealthy characters, which is of course not something that is easy to do usually, so it's always nice to have that choice and that ability. So I love her. She is one of my favorite figures of the entire set, and definitely one of the best chases. But moving right along, we have Loki up next. Now this Loki was from not the Loki show, but the What If show. What if Thor was an only child? Loki grew up as a frost giant. So yeah, he's a big old frost giant. He's actually pretty cool too, pun intended there. As Guardian, Brute, Deity, Future, Monster, Mystical, and Past keywords, gives you some good selection there. Steal energy traded, and when Loki hits after resolutions, give each hit character an action token. Very strong, especially since he has Quake most of his dial. He's got Plasticity. Adjacent opposing characters can only clear 1 action token instead of 2. So super powerful. Every time he hits, he's giving an action token, and every time they clear, they're never clearing more than 1 action token at a time. They can't even run away very easily because of the Plasticity. So pretty nuts combo there. He can really lock down a whole team. Like I said, he's got a huge chunk of Quake there. And 10 movement charge, 12 attack, 18 invuln, and 4 damage with Perplex. Pretty great stats there, only 70 points. Giant size as well, so he can, get that extra reach with the Quake. He can see over characters to really get a wide area of effect there. He can Perplex his own attack up to 13 if he needs to really keep getting those hits. Mystics also, just in case he takes a hit. And then you got some Flurry and Poison there, so he's really, really deadly up close. He does have a little bit of range if he needs to make a range attack, or he can just punch 2 squares away. So yeah, if this guy gets up next to you, watch out. He can be pretty tough to deal with, so I recommend just taking him out before he gets too close, because he is quite the nuisance. All right, and up next we have the Collector. Now, I do want to give a shout out to my friend Matt for actually letting me borrow a lot of these chases, but between the 2 of us, this was the one that we didn't have. So I'll go ahead and put him on screen now, but the Collector is actually great. I definitely need to get my hands on one of these. He's only 25 points. He's got Cosmic Energy team ability, 4 range, double target, 12 attack with Incapacitate, 10 movement phasing, 18 super senses, 1 damage with Perplex. Nothing there is too crazy, but taking a look at his first trait, if you have at least 1 character of each rarity of common, uncommon, rare, and super rare on your force, friendly characters modify attack +1. That's a pretty great, just map-wide +1 attack if you have the right assortment of rarities on your team. And then his other awesome trait here says, at the beginning of the game, if each character on your starting force is from a different HeroClix set, as long as the collector is on the map, friendly characters modify damage +1. So the really cool thing about this is, as long as your entire force is from different sets at the beginning of the game, then you get that just total map-wide +1 damage. So if your force changes throughout the game, you know, if you bring other characters in or swap things out, or even mind control something, then it doesn't matter because he's still going to be giving your entire force a +1 damage, which is huge. You know, ever since they took away Perplex's ability to up damage values, anything that can up damage values has become a very, very powerful thing. So enhancement and empower are super useful, and something like this for only 25 points that can just map wide up your whole team's damage is nuts. And he also has a stop click with super senses. So for only 25 points, they got to get through that 18 super senses that they can't outwit because he's cosmic energy. And even if they do, they're going to have to hit him at least twice to just knock him out because of that stop click. And he's going to just be sitting there, you know, map wide +1 attack and damage potentially if you build your team right, plus his own Perplex that he could use to up someone's defense or attack again or range or whatever need be. So a super powerful utility piece for only 25 points. He's already seen lots of, you know, competitive play with Thanos and some other things. And I don't think he's going away anytime soon. So stay on the lookout for him. He's super powerful. But up next we've got Gamora, daughter of Thanos, in that classic gold Thanos armor with her dual-sided sword here. Very cool, very awesome looking. I do wish we got to see more of her from the What If show, but regardless, we still got the chase of her anyway. Black Order, minions of Thanos, assassin, cosmic, ruler, warrior keywords. So she starts with this trait. Once per turn, when Gamora, daughter of Thanos, rolls a single d6, she may re-roll it. Very useful. Blades, Claws, Fangs. When Gamora, daughter of Thanos, uses it, you may instead deal half of the d6 result to the target. If you do, heal Gamora, daughter of Thanos, or an adjacent friendly character a number of clicks equal to the halved result. Really cool. If you roll like a 5 on Blades, you could choose to deal 3 and then choose to heal her or adjacent friendly 3 clicks as well. So you could really, you know, it could come in handy, I think. I don't know. I haven't really had much chance to practice that, but she has it for most of her dial. She also has Flurry and Steel Energy there. So she definitely has a lot of healing potential throughout her whole dial. And she has that single d6 reroll, which is nice, mainly for the blades. If she had some like super senses or shape change, it'd be great. If you give her that with an equipment object, you know, she can reroll the single d6 roll, so it's pretty nice. 10 movement hypersonic, 12 attack with that blade special, 19 impervious, or sorry, invincible, and 4 damage with leadership. So for only 125 points, pretty beastly stats there. Long dial, full of healing and damage reducers is great. And she's cosmic energy, so you can't outwit the invincible or invuln or anything. Not too bad at 75 either. You got the Charge Blades exploit and, you know, lots of healing there as well still. So pretty good, and double target up close. So you can kind of hedge your bets a little bit. Try and go for 2 targets at once. So, I mean, she's a pretty great close attacker with the hypersonic and that cool blade special. She's got a lot of survivability, you know, being unoutwittable and having those good damage reducers and defense, and a lot of healing potentially if you want to. So I think she's, you know, a pretty good little beat stick. Nothing too super crazy meta, but a very fun figure nonetheless. Up next, it's my boy Sicarian Iron Man. If you guys don't know, I have every Iron Man figure in the game. I'm a huge Iron Man fan and collector. So the fact that we actually have now a fully, you know, meta-worthy Iron Man is great. And I really do intend to play him a lot. I have a few different teams with him in mind. Still doing a lot of testing on some of those. But he's got Avengers, Stark Industries, Armor, Celebrity, Scientist, and Warrior keywords. Every keyword you could really ask for. And this amazing but long trait. So it's at the beginning of the game, you may generate up to 3 standard objects anywhere on the map, at least 5 squares from one another. When Sicarian Iron Man picks up a standard object, he may instead place it on his card if less than 2 are on his card. So as long as he doesn't have 2, he can put 1 on, and basically he can have a maximum of 2 objects on his card. Sicarian Iron Man modifies his combat values by +1 for each standard object on his card, and at the beginning of your turn you may choose 1 standard speed or attack power for each object on his card to use until your next turn. So that's great, +1 all stats, potentially +2 all stats if you can keep 2 objects on him, and you can choose a speed or attack power for each object. So usually you want to go with a speed and attack power, but there's potential there to choose 2 of 1 if you really needed to. But anyway, then it continues that when Sicarian Iron Man would be dealt damage from an opponent's attack, you may remove a standard object from his card to take 1 unavoidable damage instead. And then a special damage power that gives him Outwit and Perplex. And then he just simply has Willpower and Perplex later on. So, taking a look at his dial, just a full dial of Willpower, 2 damage with that Outwit Perplex special, and then 3 damage later on with regular Perplex. So taking a look at his dial, you think it's not really that amazing, right? Just lots of 10 attack, 17 defense, 2 damage. Nothing too crazy. 7 clicks of life, though, is good. And he's only 50 points. And what you have to realize here is that by the time he gets 2 objects on his card, this guy's got 12 movement, 12 attack, 19 defense, and 4 damage with an 8 range. So by the time he gets 2 objects, that's some pretty great stats for only 50 points with 7 clicks of health. And then you added the fact that he could use his Perplex on something else. He can outwit something. He can choose, move and attack power. He could have like Running Shot, Penetrating Blast. He could use Charge and Flurry. There's a lot of different combinations and options you have available there. Running Shot, Pulse Wave, Running Shot, Energy Explosion, Hypersonic, Stealth, Poison, Steel Energy. Lots of really different things for whatever situation you find yourself in. Pick a power is always great, and there's a lot of good ones to choose there. And no really good defense powers, but every time he gets hit, you can just remove an object from his card and take only 1 unavoidable damage. So, you can actually choose kind of whether, I'm about to get hit for 3, but, I think I'll be fine. I'll just keep my 2 objects and keep my stats higher and everything. But maybe you're like, I'm about to get hit for like 4 or 5. I'm definitely going to just pop that object and just take the 1 damage. So it gives you a lot of thinking and choices there. But I think he's definitely one of my favorite chases. And there's just so many cool things you can do with him. And he's only 50 points. And it's Iron Man, so he's one of my favorite chases. He's super powerful. He's seen play on a ton of really high-level competitive teams, so he's definitely proved himself worthy, and I can't wait to get out there and use it myself. So, yeah, 10 out of 10 figure. I love this guy. But moving right along, next we have the Infinity Ultron, or Ultron Infinity, rather. Now, this guy looks super awesome. Just like from the show, so cool. Got his cool spear thing and his epic cape and everything. So yeah, this is basically the if Ultron won, right? He's got the Vision body that's like encased in a regular Ultron body as armor, and then he's also got the Infinity Stones all in his chest there. So pretty crazy. He was so cool in the show. He's got Masters of Evil, Armor, Cosmic, Robot, and Ruler keywords. And he starts with a trait that gives him Stealth, and at the beginning of the game, each opponent must give an Infinity Gem token to 6 distinct characters on their starting force. If they have less than 6 characters, excess tokens must be given to 1 or more characters, and when Ultron Infinity hits 1 or more characters with an Infinity Gem token, instead of normal damage, you may choose to remove 1 hit character's Infinity Gem token to roll a d6 and gain mission points equal to the result. So, this is pretty crazy. If you hit somebody with an Infinity Gem and roll a 6, you get 6 mission points, which is awesome. But if you roll like a 1 or 2, it's maybe not so great. I mean, I don't know, you could potentially go through all 6 Infinity Gems, roll like a 1 or 2 for each of them, and end up with like 10 or less mission points. So you really need somebody else with mission point capabilities on the team to kind of maximize that. Or you could roll a 6 for the first 3 and you're basically already 1 at that point. Who knows? But, you know, it kind of just depends on your luck there. 12 movement running shot, 12 attack energy explosion, 19 impervious, and 4 damage with outwit. And you got some power cosmic team ability or cosmic energies. 7 range double target, you know, pretty good with the energy explosion there. You know, 4 damage, outwit. I gotta say, this one was a little disappointing to me. I wanted to see a little bit more from him. 125 points, and he's just kind of an expensive, you know, mission point figure. And that's not such a bad thing. I mean, there's a lot of Ultrons now already that have mission point mechanics, like the Super Rare and the Super Rare Prime, both from Empire. So maybe they're getting at just trying to build like a huge army of Ultrons that all have mission point generating effects. So maybe he'll be even better in the future when we get hopefully more Ultrons that have even more mission point generating effects, and that he can maybe combo with them. But who knows? For now, I will say that he was a little disappointing to me. He's not bad. I mean, he does have pretty good stats and powers for the point cost. But the Infinity Gem thing is, the mission point thing is really kind of hit or miss, depending on how lucky you are. And I really kind of wish he was more like a 200 or 300 point character, like a 300 point character probably. 300 points, you know, something on the level of God Emperor Doom, just totally ridiculous, like 13, 14 attack, you know, like 6 penetrating damage, I don't know, something crazy, 20 invincible, you know, those kind of ridiculous God level stats, because that's kind of what he was in the show. So anyway, he's kind of just a cool figure to have at this point. He still looks awesome. And who knows, maybe we'll get another version of him in a future Disney Plus set. One can hope. All right, but last but not least for the chases, we have Falcon Captain America, Sam Wilson Captain America. And I'll say, just like the Falcon Super Rare that we looked at earlier in the last video, this one has one of the best sculpts in this set. I love the detail in the wings. So cool. You know, you got one just flowing out there. You got one folded over him, protecting him. Looks super cool. Gotta love it. So this guy is amazing at most of his point values, but we'll take a look at that in a second. So first of all, he's got Avengers, Celebrity, and Soldier keywords, 3 really good keywords there. He's got this trait that says Captain America may start the game with Captain America's shield and or Red Wing equipped, and he can have both of them equipped at the same time. Super powerful. Anytime you can have multiple equipment is usually a good thing. So obviously, Captain America's shield, this is what he actually comes with if you pull him in the booster. He doesn't come with Red Wing. You need to actually get Falcon for that. But Captain America's shield gives you energy shield deflection, and if this character can already use it, you get +3 instead of +2. Super useful. You know, +3 against range attacks is always good. Then you got Red Wing here, which is one of the best objects in modern age right now. One of the best objects in the set for sure. So the effect here gives you free, once per game, generate a Red Wing bystander. So that gives you this Red Wing bystander here with hypersonic, precision strike, super senses, and outwit. You know, super great there. You just hypersonic and hit something for 1. It can outwit stuff for you. You know, really awesome to just have as a free 0-point bystander. Now, what's important to note is this trait here on the back. When Red Wing is KO'd, generate a Red Wing light object in the square it last occupied. And that's important because of the rest of the effect of the equipment says, free, remove a Red Wing light object held by this character from the game. If you do, this turn, this character may activate the free action to generate the Red Wing bystander regardless of the once per game restriction. So if Red Wing runs out and gets blown up, he creates a little light object. Then if Captain America goes and runs over and picks up that light object, he can then immediately remove it from the game to take the free action to, you know, make another Red Wing, which is super useful. So there you go. He's got 2 really powerful equipment on him. He starts with a trait that gives him defend and willpower. When an adjacent friendly character replaces their defense value with Captain America's, that character can use toughness for that attack. So traded defend is nice. He's got a lot of leadership on his dial, so he's going to want to be next to people for that anyway. And, you know, the willpower is nice to help keep him going. And giving people toughness as well can be very useful. You know, even if their defense is the same as his, like if they both have an 18, you can still say that he's using defend just to give them toughness. So do remember that. But the main reason I love this guy so much is this amazing special attack power, or I'm sorry, special movement power that he has here. It says Force Blast and Hypersonic Speed and Stealth. And when Captain America uses hypersonic speed and hits with a close attack, after resolutions, he may place a hit character adjacent to himself, then use Force Blast as free. So what's really cool about that is he can actually hypersonic up, punch somebody, you know, assuming he hits. He can use Force Blast to knock them away, so he doesn't have to break away. And then he can run back and place the hit character adjacent to him still, and then Force Blast as free to knock them back even more, closer to your own team, and, you know, just put them right there in the middle of a kill box where the rest of your team's waiting to just finish them off. Now, he is pretty nuts. For 125 points, he does have Avengers Initiative ability as well, which is amazing. 6 range double target. Flight with a 10 movement with that, you know, stealth, hypersonic, force blast special. 12 attack precision strike, 19 invincible, and 4 damage with close combat expert. So he can either shoot you while seeing through hindering, or if he gets up close to punch you, he's going to have a 13 for 5 damage, which is nuts. He also has energy shield, of course, from the shield. That's going to be a 19-21 defense from range attacks. Pretty nuts there. And that's if he's not just in stealth anyway, because he also has that stealth to help him out there. So pretty crazy for 125. He can just run up there, knock someone out, probably before he even gets a chance to drag them back to the team. So for 75 points, he's still really, really good. He's a little more team-friendly there. It gives you a lot more team-building room to be able to, you know, most effectively use that one click there of that hypersonic Force Blast special to just reel them back into the rest of your team. He's also got some Quake to keep people, you know, knocked back, to make most use of that. 18 with energy shield being a +3 from ranged attacks thanks to the shield. And again, he's got leadership here for most of his dial, which, like I said, you're going to want to use that for the defend and, you know, giving out toughness as well if you use that defend. Now for 50 points, running shots, you know, you got 6 range double target that can see through hindering for the penetrating blast. You got super senses, you know, also with the energy shield and the Falcon Red Wing, the Red Wing generating. And you got the leadership, and you still got the defend, the toughness granting, the willpower, all that fun stuff. So he's pretty great at all the point values. I think 75 is the sweet spot for team building, but I really want to try him out also at 125 and just go to town. I have been on the receiving end of the 125 line, and it is brutal. So there you have it. That's all the chases, but really quickly, don't go anywhere. There's a couple other figures I want to talk about really fast. All right, and since this is a full set review, I wanted to finish off with the LE figures. I feel like I don't usually talk about them in my set reviews, but I should, or at least I forgot to talk about them, I think, on the last one with the Thor set. Anyway, let's take a look at what these guys can do here. So just starting us off, they both have a trait that for +5 points, they can start with the Cloak of Levitation equipped, which makes sense. You got Doctor Strange and you got Spider-Man with the cloak. Same sculpt as the super rare version, but this is totally different. This one comes in the Play at Home kit number 100, and this one, same sculpt as Sorcerer Supreme, or Doctor Strange Supreme, but this one is number 99. This is from the actual release day OP kit you go to stores to play for. Anyway, the Cloak of Levitation gives flight, plasticity, and sidestep. Of course, 3 very useful powers and abilities to have there. So we'll start with Spider-Man here with the Play at Home kit. Avengers, Spider-Man Family, and Scientists. So like I said, starts with the cloak for 5 points. At the beginning of your turn, Spider-Man may generate a bystander on this card not already generated this game. So we'll just take a quick look at those actually. So you've got Scott's Head, which gives you Perplex and Shape Change. You've got Kurt here, which gives you some Outwit. And you've got Happy, who can give you Passenger 3, but only to carry Spider-Man and bystanders generated by Spider-Man. He's also got a 10 attack, 2 damage with Precision Strike, so he can make attacks if he has to. I would suggest actually making Happy first, just to get that, chauffeur. He can just drive Spider-Man around, and then just make the Perplex or Outwit Pog as you need it. Then he also has a stop click, and when another friendly character is KO'd after resolutions, heal a friendly character 1 click. This is actually pretty nice when comboed with, his 3 bystanders he generates. So if he happens to hit the stop click, anytime one of those would die, you can heal a friendly character, such as himself or anybody else, a click, which is awesome. He also has Perplex, and when Spider-Man uses it to target a friendly character that doesn't share a keyword, until your next turn, that character has the Spider-Man ally team ability, so he will be a wild card, whoever you target with that. I don't really use this at all because every time I use him, he's on a team with people that share keywords because I can't help but play theme teams. But if you do happen to play non-theme or do some swap out shenanigans, this can definitely come in handy. Handing out wildcard team ability is pretty great. So he's only 50 points, 55 with the cloak. You've got 10 movement charge, 11 attack precision strike, 18 super senses, and 2 damage with that Perplex special. 6 range triple target as well is really nice with the precision strike there. What I really love about this guy is for only 50 points, he's got 2 stop clicks for 1. He brings his own Perplex, and he can make a bystander with Perplex and another bystander with Outwit. So for essentially 55 points, you've got 2 Perplexes and Outwit, and he's a decent little close combat attacker or range attacker if he has to be. And he's got 2 stop clicks, making him really hard to KO. And if they KO anybody else while he's on that stop click, he can just heal right back up off of it. So I think he's quite a lot of utility in a small package. He can hold his own in a fight on top of everything. So I really, really like this Spider-Man. I forgot to show him off here at the beginning. We did take a look at it, the sculpt and the super rares. Looks great. I love that, MCU Spider-Man costume. But then the next one we have here is Doctor Strange. MCU kind of style costume, but technically this is Doctor Strange from What If, I believe. So taking a look at what he can do here, like I said, he can start with the cloak equipped. He's got Avengers, Defenders, and Mystical keywords. At the beginning of the game, choose up to 2 friendly characters that share a keyword with Doctor Strange, and choose either Avengers Initiative or Defenders team ability. The chosen characters can use the chosen team ability this game. I really love that. Handing out either of those team abilities to a couple characters is amazing. And the fact that it's this game means that you could actually play him on an Avengers team, use Empire Captain America to swap him out with somebody else for 75 points, and then boom, you've get to keep the team abilities still. So you don't have to have him on the team to be able to keep that bonus, which is great. And he also has Avengers Initiative and Defenders team ability himself, so he can see through hindering, and you can replace the defense values of other characters with that team ability. 10 movement running shot, 11 attack, penetrating blast, 18 energy shield, 3 damage perplex, 6 range double target, only 75 points. Super awesome, gotta love it. Goes into some running shot energy explosion, super senses and outwit, and then just some stealth and regen and support because he's still a doctor, and precision strike. I just love this. He's pretty well defended here. He's got stealth and regen. He can help the team all the time. He can do some good damage the whole time. He's very mobile with running shot and the sidestep from the Cloak of Levitation. So he will have flight and sidestep that whole time. Don't forget about that. So essentially he's 80 points, but if you did want to swap him out, like I said, he'd be technically 75. I like this guy a lot. You could perplex up his range or his movement or something, and with the sidestep and running shot, he can get super far out to take some shots, and of course ignore the hindering too. One of my favorite Doctor Stranges ever, maybe. He could potentially take my number 1. He just does a lot of really cool stuff and has a really solid dial for a very fair point cost. So anyway, I think both of the play-at-home kit figures are very, very good and definitely worth trying to track down if you can. So that's it for the full set review. I think all the chases are amazing. A couple of them maybe not so much, but still better than the average figure. Anyway, I think the set as a whole is actually great. I love everything on Disney Plus. I love everything in the MCU, huge MCU fan, so the fact that we got like a full MCU set was so cool. I really hope we see more. I would love a whole like Infinity War or Endgame set, or like a, you know, Disney Plus Year 2 or something. We could get like Hawkeye and Moon Knight and Miss Marvel and She-Hulk and all those other shows coming out. I would love that too. So WizKids, if you're listening, always feel free to make more MCU sets because I'll buy it all up. Anyway, I love the whole set. 10 out of 10 in my opinion. One of my favorite sets in a long time. So yeah, let me know all your thoughts about all the chases and the set as a whole down there in the comments. And thank you guys so much for watching. Alright you guys, so that does it for this part of the set review. If you enjoyed it, make sure you smash that like button. It does help me out a lot. Let me know down in the comments your thoughts and opinions on all the awesome figures in this set. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure you click that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future videos. But if you guys would like to help support the channel even more, you can check the links in the description for our Patreon so you can see your name here in the credits with all these other awesome people. But that's going to do it for this one. Thanks again so much for watching. Until next time, this has been HeroClix Headquarters, signing off.